Have you ever taken a trade where everything just felt effortless? No overthinking, no fear, no hesitation. It's like the charts started making sense on their own. Your entries happened at the perfect moment, and your mind felt completely calm, almost as if you weren't forcing the market anymore. The market itself was guiding you. And friends, in the world of trading psychology, this mental state is known as trading in the zone. Namaskar friends, welcome back to your own channel, the place where we explore the psychological side of trading, the hidden mindset principles that slowly transform an emotional trader into a disciplined, confident, and consistently profitable one. And today, we're going to talk about Chapter 23 of the book, The Daily Trading Coach, Get into the Zone. In this chapter, we'll understand what kind of mental state allows top traders to perform at their absolute best, why fear, doubt, and overthinking start disappearing when a trader enters that state, and how you can train your own mind to enter that zone again and again. Because friends, real consistency in trading doesn't come only from strategy. True consistency begins when your mind stops fighting the market, when your thoughts become clear, your emotions become stable, and your decisions start flowing naturally. So if you want to move away from stress, confusion, and emotional trading, and step into clarity, confidence, and flow, then watch this video till the very end, because maybe this chapter has the power to completely change the way you experience trading. Dr. Brett N. Steenbarger says that almost every experienced trader has at some point experienced a state where trading starts to feel incredibly natural. There's no constant overthinking, no confusion, no second-by-second self-doubt. Your mind feels calm, and your decisions become clear almost automatically. It feels like you're no longer trying to force the market. You're simply moving with its flow. Now what's the biggest sign that a trader has entered the zone? It's when the trader and the performance stop feeling separate. Everything starts flowing smoothly. The charts become easier to read. Entries begin happening at the right time, almost like your skills are expressing themselves naturally. It's similar to a batsman during an incredible innings, when every shot feels perfectly timed, no panic, no overthinking, just complete focus on the present moment. And friends, the exact same thing can happen to a trader when they enter the zone. Imagine a trader who takes disciplined trades consistently for 3 straight days. No impulsive entries, no fear, no revenge trading. Why? Because this time, he wasn't emotionally reacting to the market. He was mentally prepared, following his plan, and staying away from unnecessary distractions. Dr. Brett N. Steenbarger says something very important. The zone is not some magical power. It's the result of the right mindset, consistent practice, discipline, and mental training. And the best part is, every trader has the ability to reach this state. But most people never train their minds deeply enough to access it consistently. Friends, a lot of people believe that trading in the zone is just an emotional feeling, like when confidence is high, the mood feels good, and profits are coming in. That means you're in the zone. But that's not actually true. The zone is not an emotion. It's a mental state where your entire focus gets locked into the one thing you're doing in that moment. No anxiety about the future. No regret from past losses. No outside distractions. Your whole mind becomes fully absorbed in the present task. And to understand this better, let's take a simple example. Imagine you're riding a bike or driving a car. The road is completely empty, no traffic, no pressure, and while driving, your mind slowly starts wandering somewhere else. You begin thinking about old memories, imagining future situations, or maybe you keep driving without even realizing where your attention went. Now technically, you're still driving, but your focus isn't fully there. Your body is operating mostly on habit. This is called auto mode. Now imagine a completely different situation. It's raining heavily. Traffic is everywhere. Cars are moving around you from all sides. And suddenly, your complete attention gets fixed on the road. Where to brake, when to slow down, who might suddenly appear in front of you. At that moment, your mind, your eyes, and your body are all working together in perfect sync. You're not overthinking, but you're completely alert. And friends, this is what we call the zone. The exact same thing happens in trading. At that point, you're not just looking at charts anymore. You're deeply observing the behavior of the market. You're not distracted. You're not reacting emotionally to every candle, and you're not rushing into random trades. You become fully present. Many traders think that if trading becomes automatic, then they must be in the zone. But Brett and Steenbarger explain something very important. Simply trading on autopilot is not the zone. The real zone happens when your mind is fully active, your focus becomes razor sharp, and mentally you are completely present in that moment, which means calm, alert, and fully involved at the same time. And friends, this is the state where trading finally starts feeling natural. Brett N. Steenbarger says something very important. Getting into the zone is not only about focus or mindset. It also depends on one big question. Are you trading in a way that actually matches your natural personality? Because every trader has their own unique strong zone. A strong zone means that place where your skills, your personality, and your genuine interest all connect together naturally. Dr. Steenbarger explains that he feels the deepest sense of flow when he's writing or counseling someone. Why? Because in those moments, nothing feels forced. Ideas begin flowing naturally. The conversation moves effortlessly. And sometimes, he doesn't even notice how much time has passed. And friends, that is one of the biggest signs that a person is operating inside their natural zone. Dr. Steenbarger says that even in trading, he feels most engaged when he is deeply analyzing the market, when he is observing charts, understanding patterns, feeling the behavior of the market, and then taking short-term trades based on those insights. But when trading becomes purely mechanical, with no curiosity, no observation, just blindly buying and selling again and again, the mind slowly starts disconnecting. Trading begins to feel boring. It starts feeling like you're only completing a process, but mentally, you're not truly present anymore. Dr. Steenbarger compares this to a conversation where people are only talking formally. Words are being exchanged on the surface, but underneath, there's no real connection. And friends, the place where you naturally lose yourself, where time disappears while working, where your mind doesn't need to force anything, that's usually where your greatest strength exists. And in trading, this matters a lot because every trader has a different personality and a different style that suits them naturally. Some traders enjoy fast action, quick entries, quick exits, rapid decision making, which is why scalping feels natural to them, while other traders prefer calm analysis, waiting patiently for clean setups, holding bigger moves, and letting the market develop slowly, which is why swing trading fits them better. And friends, when you trade in a style that genuinely matches your personality, trading slowly stops feeling like pressure. Your mind becomes clearer, your decisions become more natural, and little by little, that's when a trader begins entering their real zone. Maybe the most powerful lesson from Brett and Steenbarger is this: the zone does not come from one fixed technique. The zone appears when your trading slowly starts aligning with your natural strengths, meaning the way you naturally think, the way you make decisions, the way you handle pressure. If your trading style truly matches those qualities, then naturally your focus becomes sharper, your clarity improves, and your mind slowly enters a genuine flow state. That's why Dr. Steenbarger says every trader should ask themselves a few important questions. Questions like, what part of trading do I genuinely enjoy the most? What type of trading makes me feel deeply focused? In which situations does my mind feel the clearest? And during which activity do I completely lose track of time? Because friends, the place where you naturally become fully absorbed, that's usually where your real strength is hiding. And once you begin understanding this, you slowly start moving closer to your true trading zone. But after this, Dr. Steenbarger talks about something extremely dangerous. He says many traders believe they are in the zone, when in reality, they are trapped inside a fake zone, a state he calls the counterfeit zone. Now the question is, what exactly is the counterfeit zone? Friends, this is the state where a trader is no longer in love with trading itself. They become addicted to excitement. They don't genuinely enjoy studying charts. They don't care about deeply understanding market behavior. And yet, they keep taking trades again and again. Why? Because they are chasing the thrill, fast profits, high risk, constant excitement. Slowly, their focus shifts away from the process and moves completely toward emotional stimulation. And then they start convincing themselves, I'm fully active, I'm aggressive, I'm trading non-stop. That means I'm in the zone. But the truth is, they are not in the zone. They have simply become addicted to excitement. And Dr. Steenbarger says this pattern is extremely dangerous. Because once a trader becomes addicted to high-risk behavior, they start needing bigger and bigger risks just to feel the same level of excitement again. Exactly like any addiction, the emotional dose keeps increasing over time. And eventually, what happens? Either the trading account collapses or the trader becomes mentally exhausted. Friends, the real zone makes you calm. The counterfeit zone makes you emotionally hyper. The real zone brings clarity. The counterfeit zone only brings excitement. The real zone helps you think clearly. The counterfeit zone slowly destroys discipline. So if you are trading only for thrill, adrenaline, or emotional rush, then maybe you are not inside the real trading zone at all. You may actually be trapped inside a very dangerous illusion. Friends, a real trader is not the one who takes the highest number of trades in a day. A real trader is the one who stays mentally connected with the market. Someone who takes every trade mindfully, not out of impatience, not out of emotion, and not just for excitement. Because real passion doesn't come from profits alone. Real passion comes from the process, from learning and from improving yourself every single day. That's why, if you truly want to become a consistent trader in the long run, don't fall in love only with money. Learn to fall in love with the trading process itself. And friends, that's the difference between an addicted trader and a real trader. But now the question is, why do traders fall out of the zone? Brett N. Steenbarger says, the biggest reason is this: focusing more on results than on the process. Meaning, you may be taking trades, but your attention is no longer fully on the market. Instead, your mind keeps getting trapped in profits, losses, and the constant pressure of money. With every small market movement, your fear and expectations keep changing. And the moment your focus shifts from process to results, your mind slowly disconnects from the present moment. Think about it with a simple example. Imagine you're having an important conversation, but instead of truly listening, your mind keeps thinking, how do I look right now? Is the other person judging me? Do I sound awkward? What happens then? You stop being fully present in that moment. And trading works exactly the same way. When a trader keeps checking their P&L after every single candle, they are no longer observing the market. They are only observing their emotions. And friends, this is exactly what breaks the zone. Dr. Steenbarger says, the moment you start thinking about your performance while performing, anxiety begins to appear. And wherever anxiety enters, flow begins to disappear. Imagine an athlete stepping onto the field, thinking only this: I have to break a world record today. The focus immediately shifts away from the game itself. Natural performance disappears. And the same rule applies in trading. If your attention stays locked on profit and loss every single second, your mind will never make clear decisions. Dr. Steenbarger shares something very interesting. When he wrote his first trading psychology book, he didn't even have a publishing contract. He had no idea whether the book would become successful or not. And still, he continued writing with complete dedication. Why? Because his focus was not on the result. His focus was on honestly expressing his ideas and helping people. And that is exactly where real flow came from. Friends, when performance changes from a desire into a desperate emotional need, people stop enjoying the process. Because then, the entire mind becomes obsessed with the outcome. And wherever outcome becomes an obsession, the zone cannot survive. So if you truly want to enter the trading zone, learn to feel the charts, learn to observe the market deeply, learn to stay fully present in the process. Don't keep checking your P&L every minute. And don't turn every trade into a life or death situation, because the zone appears when your focus is not on money but on the quality of your execution. And Dr. Steenbarger also says, if a trader is trading under financial pressure, thinking things like, if I don't make money today, I'm in trouble, then the mind can never stay completely calm, because in that moment, the trader is not seeing the market anymore. They are only seeing fear. And wherever fear dominates, clarity disappears. And without clarity, no trader can ever enter the real zone. Brett Steenbarger shares another very important lesson. If you attach your entire self-worth to trading, then the market will not only control your money, it will slowly start controlling your emotions too. Every profit will push your mood higher, and every loss will begin crushing your confidence. Slowly, trading turns into an emotional roller coaster. And friends, when emotions keep swinging up and down, calm focus cannot survive. And without calm focus, entering the zone becomes extremely difficult. To explain this, Dr. Steenbarger gives a very simple example. He and his wife invested some money into tax-free bonds because the long-term returns looked attractive. But the most important part was this: they did not put all of their savings into that one investment. It was only a small portion of their total money. The rest was managed separately across different places. And because of that, even if the investment experienced short-term ups and downs, they did not become emotionally disturbed. They didn't panic. They didn't keep checking prices every single day, because their entire future was not dependent on one position. And friends, the exact same principle applies in trading. If every trade in your mind has become life-changing, your mind will naturally start feeling pressure. Then even the smallest market movement will begin affecting you emotionally. But if you trade with proper risk management, if you take limited risk on every trade, and if you are not emotionally dependent on one outcome, your mind stays far more relaxed. And only a relaxed mind can make clear decisions. Dr. Steenbarger says something very powerful. The zone does not come from desperation. The zone comes from clarity. When trading stops being about survival and becomes a well-managed process instead, your focus shifts away from fear and moves toward execution. And friends, it's not only important to diversify your portfolio, it's equally important to diversify your life emotionally, meaning your entire identity should not depend only on trading. Dr. Steenbarger says he is not just a trader, he is also a father, a husband, and a psychologist. And because of that, even if a trade does not go perfectly, his entire identity does not collapse. His emotional stability remains intact. And that balance helps him stay relaxed and focused, both in trading and in writing. But when a person puts all their hopes, all their emotions, and their entire identity into trading alone, pressure slowly begins to grow. The mind starts getting exhausted. Burnout begins to appear, and trading slowly transforms from something enjoyable into an emotional burden. And friends, in that state, no person can truly enter the real trading zone. Brett Steenbarger says, always remember one thing, make trading a part of your life, not your entire life. Because if your whole identity starts revolving only around the market, then slowly every profit will decide your mood, and every loss will decide your confidence. That's why your life should also contain things outside of trading, things that keep you emotionally stable, like spending quality time with your family, laughing and talking freely with friends, not completely disconnecting from your social life, having a hobby that refreshes your mind, doing something creative that you genuinely enjoy, taking care of your health and fitness, continuing to learn new things, reading books, and growing yourself mentally. Because when your life is no longer limited to charts and P&L alone, every market up and down stops shaking you emotionally. Then you stop reacting emotionally to trading and start executing calmly. And friends, this is exactly what slowly brings you closer to the zone. Dr. Steenbarger says, the zone is not some trading trick. It is actually the result of a balanced lifestyle. When your life feels stable, your mind naturally enters deeper focus. That's when inner calmness appears. And that's when trading stops feeling like pressure and starts feeling like flow. That's why he suggests a very simple exercise. Pause for a moment and honestly observe your own life. Ask yourself, am I giving enough time to my family? Do I have any hobbies outside of trading? Do I actually feel mentally fresh, or am I trapped inside the market all day long? Then choose one small area that you can improve slightly, maybe by giving it a little more time, a little more attention, or simply by bringing a small amount of balance into your daily routine. Because friends, when your happiness doesn't depend entirely on trading results, a different kind of emotional stability begins to grow inside you. Then every trade stops feeling like a life or death situation. Your mind becomes more relaxed, your decisions become clearer, and inside that clarity, the zone becomes possible. Dr. Steenbarger also shares one more practical insight. While trading, taking small breaks in between is extremely important. But simply scrolling your phone or wasting time randomly is not a real break. A real break is something that genuinely refreshes your mind, because many times the best trading decisions don't come from staring at the screen non-stop. They come after allowing the mind to relax for a while. So friends, maybe the biggest lesson from today's chapter is this: the real trading zone does not come from some magic strategy. It comes when your mind is calm, your focus is clear, and you are honestly connected to the process. When trading stops coming from fear, greed, and desperation and starts coming from clarity, discipline, and self-awareness, that's when a trader slowly begins moving toward true consistency. And maybe this is the point where trading stops being only a way to make money and starts becoming a journey of understanding yourself. If you found today's session valuable, and if you learned something meaningful from it, then make sure to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because your support and feedback genuinely motivate me to keep creating these deep trading psychology videos. And friends, there's one thing I'd really love to know from you. When you feel mentally exhausted from trading, when your mind feels completely drained, what do you personally do to refresh yourself again? Do you take a break? Go for a walk, listen to music, spend time with family, or do something else completely? Make sure to share your answer in the comments. I'd genuinely love to read them, and maybe your experience might even help another trader who is silently struggling right now. I'll see you in the next powerful chapter.